Hello everyone, welcome to Wayne and Cathy show. Hello everyone, welcome to Wayne and Cathy show. I'm your host Wei Fang, and now this is the fourth day after the raid of the Mar-a-Lago residence of former President Trump. And as of now, the White House, DOJ, and FBI has said nothing about the reason of the raid. So I put the label there saying miscalculated raid, right? So how do I say that? How can I say that? So I want to explain it to you about the things that has been leaked out in the past few days, and if we put them together, maybe we can have some visibility. All right. So first, let's review that. According to information from various sources, it seems to have to do with a report by the National Archive to the DOJ. And so what happened to the National Archive? How did they get involved? So if we piece together everything that Trump's Mar-a-Lago staff said and other people who source that is know it close to the Mar-a-Lago. So basically, a while ago, we don't know when. Okay, representative of the National Archive visited Mar-a-Lago, saying that when Trump moved out of White House in the January 2021, you guys moved something that you should not have moved. You cannot do that. And so the receiving people on the Mar-a-Lago saying that really, let's just find out what it is. They actually provided some samples, some document to the National Archive for them to evaluate or get back to them. And then, so it was a very friendly and professional conversation. And during that talk, Trump stopped by and said hi to those visiting guests. Before they left, they even said, making sure you lock up those documents. Okay, so actually it's through the mouth of the Trump's staff at the Mar-a-Lago, and National Archive got confirmation that the Trump have those 15 boxes of stuff moved from White House. And then later, National Archive presumably briefed this DOJ, saying that those are very sensitive, that could be criminal issues in it. So DOJ then sent FBI to the Mar-a-Lago in the early morning of the Monday, and carry out literally a raid. And this raid is accompanied with forceful opening of the safe of the Trump, and so it's quite a shocking raid that completely surprised Trump himself and the people at the Mar-a-Lago. All right, so why do they do that? There's two possible guesses, right? Two possible reasons. And one is that in the name of searching for, misplaced classified information from the White House, they're searching for something else. Maybe they can find something else. The second is, just chasing down this little matter. It's actually the little matter, making sure that and finally indicted Trump and find him guilty on that, so that they can put him away, and so that he cannot disqualify him for any public office. Office of President of the United States, of course, is part of that. Okay, whether that could stand, I'll get to that a bit later. Okay, first let me share with you some legal knowledge here. So what do we know that is FBI, in order to secure the warrant, has to present sworn affidavits to a federal judge, setting forth what crime or crimes they thought they had happened. And then specifically what evidence they thought was located in the place. They also have to make a showing of probable cause that a crime has been committed. And what is this probable cause? And probable cause is a lower standard of proof than the reasonable doubt, but it has to be smoke that may indicate the existence of fire. All right. So after the raid, during the raid, the agent apparently, carry out, the procedures for several hours. Under the law, they are required to prepare an inventory of what they seized and serve a copy of the warrant and the receipt for the property taken on the person whose property was searched. And then they are required to return a copy of the warrant and inventory to the judge designated in the warrant. okay? And then the people who were searched is supposed to receive that too. So presumably Trump knows exactly what was taken and then why it was taken. Okay, at this time, I don't think Trump has it because news report, as I just read in this afternoon, Trump's attorney is asking for the DOJ for such receipt and also a copy of the search warrant because at this time, Trump doesn't know what's the reason. Nobody knows what's the reason for the raid. And so then, okay, now the next, let's go back to the possible reason. Trump is going through this, January 6th, right, congressional hearing, in which that Trump is, under investigation for criminal incitement to the insurrection. Okay, what if he got indicted or even convicted? Okay, possibly based upon something they seized at the Mar-a-Lago. Let's say the worst case. Okay, for Trump. And then according to the 18 U.S. Code 2383, okay, the penalty for inciting insurrection is 10 years in prison and a disqualification from holding public office. All right, so apparently if that happened, then Trump cannot run for president in 2024. Another possibility is that a criminal case under the U.S. Code, 18 U.S. Code 2071, okay, this is based upon the removal, the concealment, or destruction of document, classified document. A criminal statute that I just mentioned to you, 18 U.S.C. U.S. Code 2071, outlaw the removal or destruction of documents from any public office. And the penalty, if found guilty, is up to 3 years in prison and disqualification from holding public office. All right. So, but can Trump really be disqualified or if convicted? Well, actually, indictment and even conviction of a felony is no ground for disqualification for someone from running for president. Are you surprised? Okay, let me just give you an example before I explain why. There's this socialist, okay, socialist leader. His name is Eugene Debs, okay. He ran for president 4 times in the early 1900s. And he was a candidate while in jail in 1920 because he got brushed with law. And so did another gentleman, his name is John Gordon, okay? And he tried to run for, president in the 1976 and while in prison, okay? And the federal court approved his eligibility. All right, so the reason is this, the Constitution, our Constitution in this Article 2, Section 1 and Clause 5 provide the qualification for the President of the United States. And what's the qualification? Hear me out. You are naturally born here, you are a U.S. citizen, you are 35-year-old, and you have been living in the U.S. for 14 years. That's it. That's it. It does not preclude felons, insurrectionists, or document removers. Even Trump would be found guilty on any of those things. Nobody can prevent him from running for president still. But you would ask, what about the statute you just read to us, right? They were sentenced to 3 years or 10 years, then they are disqualified from the holding public office. Yes, they conflict with the Constitution. And then you know what happened when that conflict is there. Constitution wins. So it is unconstitutional criminal statute, okay? And the statute can be well applied to anything else, any public office, but not the president and not the vice president and not the senator and not the congressman, because they are defined, their qualification was defined by our Constitution, and it's not complicated there at all. Virtually anybody can run for president or vice president or senator or congressman. Given you are either 35-year-old or 30th or 25, depends on which office you're seeking after, and you are born here and you have lived here for 14 years. That'll be it. So if someone expects that holding Trump liable for something, some problem, and then disqualifying him from running for public office, that's probably a miscalculation. All right. Okay, but then why the raid still, right? Why the raid? So before today's show, I watched a interview of Fox to the former FBI Assistant Director Chris Swacker. Let me just relate to you what he said. And he said, based upon his experience working at FBI, it's unprecedented for something like this to happen, because whenever they do something like this, even just normal, VIPs, let alone the former president of the United States, they have to be very careful because they have to consider the credibility of FBI in the eyes of the public. All right. So he said such behavior are well codified in the domestic investigative operation guidelines and the Attorney General guidelines. And it seems that the FBI agent this time just pushed aside all those clearly codified guidelines, and it chose to raid the Mar-a-Lago early morning of Monday, not during work hours. And then with all the police car flashing, or maybe FBI car flashing, and enough people guarding the Mar-a-Lago, 30 agents just literally just broke in, and carry out safe opener, that kind of thing. He said normally, he said if I were there, we just send 3 cars and very politely approach there, ask the Mar-a-Lago people to close the door so that they can conduct the search. They don't need to pick such a timing in such a manner in the high pressure maneuver, and that's Mr. Swacker's opinion. Okay, but hearing this, what do you think? Did this just happen to Trump? On the second day, on the Tuesday morning, all right, a congressman, the House representative of the 10th District of Pennsylvania, Scott Perry, was traveling with his family. I don't know where, he did not say, to the airport or somewhere. 3 FBI agents approached him, showed him the search warrant, and took his cell phone away. And he was really outraged. He said, can they just politely come to my office and request such? Why do they have to do this? And if you still remember Navarro, right, the Trump's former advisor, and Peter Navarro, he was stopped by the FBI, pushed to the ground, and handcuffed, from behind. And this is how far they went. And he said, they can just give me a call. I can walk over to their office. There's no need for them to do this. And why do they do that? But you can think about it, why do they do that? And if you still remember Roger Stone, Trump's former, consultant or the aide. And again, it is a late night, at night breaking type of movement, okay, by the FBI. And if we put this all together, what's the commonality there? What do you think? Yeah, leave your comment there. I really want to know that what commonality do you see there? Scare tactic, right? Scare the people, scare the subject, saying that dare you be hold on there, and scare the other people besides him. How dare you stay close to this guy? See, he's a criminal. We're treating him as such, and just be careful. Be careful. I have no evidence there. Okay, but I read enough, and I just correlate things, and also not just correlation, but also relating to my experience in China. This is what the communist does back there: scare you into submission. Because according to Smacker, right, as I just said, they don't need to do it. They don't need to do it. Even the FBI insider, they don't need to do it this way. They've been always careful, and they can still accomplish their goal, their task. Okay, that's that. But does it work? The final words is, does it work? Okay, first, I don't know about you, according to my observation, because I am a journalist, right? So on the second day, about 30% of the, Republicans, elected officials, spoke out against the raid. And they are typically just conservatives who've been always Trump supporters. And then on the third day, which is Wednesday, about 80% people speaking out, including virtually all elected officials in the House. And then most people in the Senate, except the leaders, McConnell and a few Senate GOP leaders. So I would say 80%. And on the fourth day, today, most of them spoke out. Some stronger, some milder. Some say, let's wait and see. Let it play out. But most people have spoken out strongly on this matter. Okay. So does it, if that was a scare tactic, does that work? Apparently not. It actually ignited the public rage on this. The second, does it scare Trump? And actually, a Congress delegation visited Trump at his golf course at Bedminster, New Jersey, the other home. And Congressman Jim Banks said that Trump was very upbeat. Doesn't feel like he's depressed or scared at all. And he's full of ideas. He said he will make an announcement soon. He's very upbeat. So apparently, the tactic did not work well with Trump, if that was the tactic. The utterly unnecessary, strong handling of this search does not seem to scare anyone. So, yeah, what do you think? That's the thing. First, I share with you that it's not easy. I won't say it's impossible. It's not easy to prevent Trump from running for president. Even with this kind of indictment, that kind of, even the conviction, which I think there's zero chance to come, to arrive at. But if that's the case, he can still run for president because our Constitution says so. All right, and okay, let's see. What do you have to say? And the cancer mouse, you said, and I hope it wakes up the sleepo. Tamatango characters. Okay, I don't quite understand that word. I'm sorry, but I think I know your meaning. And Larry Dolio said they need to rush out and have the raid because everything he had from the White House has been gone for 18 months now, and they think maybe something wrong. Okay, all right. Thank you for your contribution. And let's see. And Mark Somers, you said, Anthony Yang, stop flapping your slack jaw, or present, yeah, present a real and concrete evidence. Okay, all right. So what do you think? Do you think this is a scare tactic, and the main purpose is to scare? And do you think that they want to do this to prevent Trump from running, to disqualify him? And most people would think so because there are clearly two pieces of, federal law to disqualify criminals. But from general public office, not president, not vice president, not congressman, not senator, which is, ruled, regulated by our Constitution, fortunately. And Emil said Trump is going to look great in his orange jumpsuit. This is great for our country. Okay, so that's your position. And Tamatakao character. Oh, that's another of our viewers here. Trump's lawyer said they know what he had, even though talks broke down between them. Okay, so basically, I think what I read through is even that's the case. Let's say that's the case. He removed 15 boxes without knowing that he should not have done that. He removed them. It's not supposed to be a big deal. The National Archives should say, how about returning them? They said, let's talk about that. Okay, let me return it. There's no need for early morning raid, right? What's the reason for the early morning raid? And so it's very, very unprecedented. It's very rare and unprecedented. Anyway, we are about just 3 months from midterm election. This is another very, very crucial period of time. Nobody knows what would unfold for America now. Okay, 3 months from now, 2 years from now, we don't know. We're living through this, and it's a test of good people's will, and also a test of our resolve and our action. And so what I can do is we'll keep reporting, and we'll stay with you, and we'll give you the best information that we can find, so that you can at least going through this period well informed. Okay, God bless America. God bless you all. Good night. I see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.